Thanksgiving, and everywhere you go, social media, work, email, my email been flooding with a lot of gratitude and gratefulness, thankfulness emails, and people saying thanks to everyone and sharing what they're grateful for, and that's all great. That's all good. But I, of course, I'm going to come rock the boat a little bit. So I'm hopping on here to remind all of us that gratitude doesn't just happen in November. It doesn't just happen on Thanksgiving. Gratitude should be happening every single day. It should be a daily practice where you acknowledge the things that you're thankful for, the things that you're grateful for, things that you are present in your life. And sometimes you can also be thankful for the things you don't have in your life. A little bit in that, I'll share a little more about that in just a little bit. So it's so easy to think about gratitude when everyone is thinking about gratitude. Right? Everybody, that's the focus right now. So it's like, everybody's thinking about it. It's good. But I think, you probably heard me say this before if you follow me long enough, that whether it's gratitude, whether it's, Thanksgiving or Christmas, New Year's or Valentine's, all those holidays that we celebrate, those things that we do during those on those holidays should be done throughout the year. um, you shouldn't wait for February 14th to tell people that you love them, right? Or show them that you love them. You shouldn't be waiting for the fourth Thursday of November to be grateful for what you have, who you have in your life, right? So I hope that we all know that. So I want to just encourage you to go beyond Thanksgiving, go beyond November, and continue to cultivate the attitude of gratitude. Continue to be grateful for the things that you have around you, the things you have in your life, the things that maybe you don't, the things that you're glad and thankful that are not happening in your life. So, and with that in mind, I wanted to touch base a little bit also about how to be grateful in the hard time, how to be grateful for the hard things, the tough stuff. It's so easy to be grateful when everything's going great, right? It's so easy to be thankful when things are going the way you want. The money's rolling, the car is driving fine. Um, the kids are doing what they're supposed to do. Your marriage is going well. It's so great it's easy in this moment to be grateful. And I think that sometimes we take for granted the hard stuff in our lives, that if you are truly cultivating an attitude of gratitude, then you start being grateful for even the tough stuff, even the hard stuff. And that's when you realize that the hard stuff are actually a blessing sometime in disguise. So you might be saying, okay, shit, what are you talking about? But here's what I've learned, from a few years of living and few my long list of challenges and uh, and hardship. Those of you who know me personally or follow me in my personal page a little bit about the stuff that I deal with or dealt with and still dealing with, right? Life keeps happening. And often, I was telling a friend at church on Sunday, they asked me how I was feeling because again, this weekend I wasn't feeling well. I had some health issues again. And I was sharing with this friend. I said, "Well, telling what happened, and just the look on his face, and it was just like, oh, poor Shu, I feel bad for you, and I even got caught up in that, moment and saying like, there's always nothing, there's always something, I would never catch a break, and I needed to catch myself in that moment and say, I never catch a break, maybe, but I do catch a lot of blessings for the hard things that I go through." And you're like, wow, shoot, would it be positive, right? And that's, I wasn't born positive. I literally, I had to train myself to be positive. And that's why even when the hardest stuff happened to me in that moment, I'm not saying that you should numb emotion. No, if you follow me, you know that I'm totally against that. We need to feel what we're feeling. We need to acknowledge what we're feeling, but then don't stop there. Don't stop there. You need to look beyond what you're feeling and actually see the bigger picture. And it is this, continual practice of gratitude that helps me stay positive, that helps me rise above my circumstances, that help me push forward. I had another friend message me today. I was messaging for business stuff, but a speaking engagement for this spring. And Miss was asking me, she's like, oh, I read your e-news, your newsletter that I send out to my people on my list. She's like, oh, it's so great. I'm glad you guys finally found a place. You're settled. And, I'm like, well, we're not quite settled. We're getting there. And then she said, well, how you been? So like, you're doing great. I said, well, if you know me well enough, you know that, I keep pushing. It's not everything's great, but we keep pushing. And she said something that really touched my heart and reminded me of all that I've learned along the way. She said, Shu, you are the definition of perseverance. And I'm not saying that to toot my own horn, but to say I'm sharing that because it goes along with what I'm going to share next. I was not born being the definition of perseverance, right? I was not born being the woman, who rises above circumstances. I was not born like that. The things that I've been through, instead of making me bitter, made me more grateful. Instead of bringing me down, keeping me down. Yes, some of those things bring me down, but instead of keeping me down, or letting myself be pulled down by what happens to me and around me, I choose to rise above it. And it because I cultivate this attitude of gratitude, and it really helps. So how do I practice this when tough things happen, when things are just not going the way I wanted to, for when things don't go my way, when bad things happen? And we all know, we say to sometimes people, I even have friends tell me, oh my goodness, Shu, you're such a sweet person. I don't know what all these things keep happening to you. Well, bad things do happen to good people. I'm not perfect. I have my weaknesses, I have my issues, I have my problems. But overall, people often, consider me as a good person, and they don't understand why all these things happen to me. Well, it depends how you look at it. When I put my spiritual lenses on, I realize that I'm doing so much, for others and to serve others, that I'm just sometimes, I have to deal with kind of that spiritual warfare. And that's how I look at it. So when I look at it into like as spiritual warfare, then it changes my perspective on things. It's not the person or the thing that happened, it's the forces against me. Then I need to cling to my God, in order to overcome those things. But let's go quickly here. I'm not going to keep you forever. I know some of you already cooking the turkeys, right? So actually, we had turkey. Side note here. So we had a turkey deliver because, again, just people love us, which is a blessing. We had a turkey deliver on Friday, and I'll talk about Friday in a little bit as well. Friday was a tough day for me, but I was laying on the couch, and then I made a turkey deliver, and then I looked at the after I finally got up, looked at the freezer, and like, there's just no room here. I don't have energy to start storing things through the freezer. And guess what? That turkey went in the oven on Friday. So a week before Thanksgiving, we put that turkey in the oven, and we ate that turkey Saturday. We ate it Sunday, and guess what? Today the rest of it I actually made turkey corn soup with it. And my sons are like, "Is this chicken corn soup, Mom?" I'm like, "No, not exactly." It's supposed to be chicken corn soup, but we use turkey instead. But anyway, with that in mind, so what do you do? How do you stay grateful? How do I stay grateful during tough time, and how you can do the same for yourself? It helps you. There's so many research showing how the benefits of gratitude. Help you stay positive. It help you feel happier. Help you maintain your connections. It help you lower your blood pressure. It help reduce stress. It helps you feel more spiritually grounded. Gratitude is good for you. So do this for yourself. Do yourself a favor and be grateful. But then when tough things happen, when hard things happen, how do you be grateful for that? Here are 3 ways that I have learned to be grateful in the tough things. 1, I acknowledge the support that I receive. And things might not go my way. Things might be really going rough. So last week, on Thursday, I believe, or was it Wednesday? I don't remember. That's gonna week ahead. I think it was Thursday. On Thursday, I left my house. I think it was Wednesday. Anyway, in the middle of last week, we'll just say that. In the middle of last week, I left my house. I was heading for a very important meeting that I needed to be there, that I had scheduled ahead of time. The schedule, I think, was early in the week. But anyway, I scheduled a few days ahead, and it was something that was really important to me. And I got in my car. I only went maybe 5 minutes. I drove 5 minutes, and my car went from it would. I live close to the busy road, so the road, the speed limit there is 40. So I was going 40 miles an hour. And then I literally saw the car slowly, the needle going down 40, 40, 35, 30, 20. And I'm pressing on the gas as hard as I could. And that car wouldn't move. And I'm like, oh my goodness. So by the time it got to 10, I'm like literally starts, put my emergency light on, and then kind of my flashers on, and slowly drove off the road, and then just I just literally parked on the side of the road and then left my emergency lights on. And I stopped the car because by then it was down to zero. So I turned the car off and then tried to turn the car again, and the car did not start. Yes, and I'm like, I have to be. This meeting is so important to me. I have to be there. And not only that, I'm stranded on this busy road, and I don't know where to go. I can't move this car, and not so for at that point, like even if I forget the meeting, like I need to find a way to move this vehicle and then a way to get home, in time to pick up get my kids off the bus. And like all these ideas of all those thoughts are going through my mind. But through all of that, to make the long story short here, through all of that, I received lots and lots of support. Many of you didn't even know what happened because I didn't share with everyone. But the maybe two or three people that I texted asking for a mechanic, um, because we just moved, so I didn't know. I'm still learning my way around this area. I don't know many, I don't know a lot of things in this area. So I could have quickly, Googled a mechanic around, but it's always good to get, a reference, get someone, a referral, someone who's actually referring you to, especially those service providers. So at least, someone you can trust as well, because someone else already used their services. So I did that. I reached out to a friend to ask if they knew any mechanics in the area. And anyway, in the midst of all of that, one of the friends was actually at church for Bible study, women's Bible study. So she shared with everybody on the table. So I had all this group of women praying for me. I texted my pastor, he was praying, and then a few friends. And in the midst of not just the prayers, but through all of that, the support that I received, my car got towed. Um, no expense to me. The car did not. Guess I paid the AAA. So, but from that moment, I didn't have to gash out more money to tow the car. So that the support that I received in that moment, the car got towed with no extra expense on my behalf. And then I had a friend come pick me up, took me and picked me up, and then I mean she even took me for lunch. Like I just why don't we just go for lunch? You have some time before the kids come home. Let's just go. So I got to spend time with that friend and just help me kind of calm down. After that little I was distraught. After the moment. Then that friend took me back home. In the midst of that too, like that. So that was Thursday, yeah. Because then Friday, I woke up not feeling well, and like I said, I had the turkey delivered. So in the midst of me not having my car, I was supposed to pick up this turkey. It got delivered to me. So again, support that I received, right? And then in addition to that, my kids had the younger ones, they had a movie night at school where we didn't have a vehicle to go to go, and another friend provided transportation for us. She took me to, took us there, took my daughter to get her glasses, and then, came to pick us up at the movie. Again, support that I received for that, right? So this incident, it was the incident of the car breaking down. For all of that, I was supported in so many ways. And guess what? When the car was fixed on Saturday, I was too sick. I had a friend, offer to drive me there to get the car, but I was too sick. I was too dizzy. I couldn't drive. So she and her husband went there and picked up the car and brought it back to me. And then even the car itself, like the repair, the expense of repairing the car, that's even like the blessing. All of this just came together. God is just so good. So in midst of all of that, I actually got help with that without even asking for help. Yeah, people pitched in, my church pitched in and helped cover the repair for my car. So all that to say, it was a stressful moment. It was a hardship. It was something that I'm just like, oh, this is not good, not right now, not today. But if through all of that, I was supported. So if you just heard me, like that was just one thing. Just thinking about it was a hard thing, hard stuff, right? So how to be thankful and how to be grateful in the hard stuff. One, think about what support you received during that time. So I am so grateful for everyone who helped me, from Wednesday or Thursday, whenever it was, to Saturday even. and beyond. But all the support that I received during throughout the incident was so, so, so meaningful. And it really touched me and my kids, and was so grateful for that. Right. So and then so that's one. The second way that I am grateful for the tough stuff is focusing on the strength that I gain. Yes, the strength that I gain. So if you follow my personal page, I actually shared that um last week. So that day I was sick on that Friday was November 22nd, and it was the second anniversary of the day that I could have died. One of the days I could have died. So that was the most recent incident. It's been 2 years ago. So for those of you who don't know my backstory, 2 years ago I went to the hospital for a outpatient procedure, and I was supposed to return home that same evening, and ended up not leaving the hospital because after the procedure I couldn't talk, I couldn't walk. Yeah, and my left side was paralyzed. And I opened my mouth, I couldn't get the words out. My brain was going. I felt like I was saying stuff. People were just staring at me like, my goodness. And then, you hear all the over the intercom in the hospital. Can't remember what code they called it, but it was a code because now was I was having stroke symptoms. My left side of my face was drooping, and because I was asking to smile, I couldn't do that. I couldn't close my one eye. Um, yeah, and then long story short, I got airlifted to a bigger hospital. So that was something tough. It was tough. To even yes, I'm still recovering. There's a lot of ways I've gotten so bad. Like, a lot of things came back. Obviously, I'm speaking to you, right? I'm moving my arms, but strength on my left side is not the same. I still have weakness on my left side. I have a lot of nerve pain and a lot of muscular stuff, neurological things I didn't have before. And I will spare you the details because actually today I was back at the doctor because of the dealing with some of the stroke related stuff that I still have to deal with. And I now got scheduled for procedure next week again. To deal with some of that stuff, which is a little too personal, so I won't share that here. But just to tell you that I'm still dealing with the aftermath of all of this. My body is not the same and might never be the same. Again, but it's all good through all of that. Back to how to be grateful in the tough stuff. Through all of that, I have gained so much strength. I've gained resilience. I've gained, oh my goodness, just perspective in life. So now I don't take things for granted. I don't take an extra day, an extra breath for granted. Like, I am so adamant, in anything I do now. Like, I help even be so focused on my mission on earth. Like, I know that I'm alive for a reason, that I still have work to do here, and I take that very seriously. If it was not for that incident 2 years ago, I'll still be working and doing the things that I do, but I'll still be passionate about it, but not have a sense of urgency. Yeah, I have a sense of urgency because I don't want to die and not share the knowledge that I have. I don't want to die and then keep all my thoughts to myself. And this is that strength that I gained through this, through the past 2 years, through all this, ordeal, helped me become the author that I am today. Writing, I think as of today, I was dealing with Amazon this afternoon, and I think now I have 18 books on my Amazon offer page, and some that I authored myself, and others that were co-authors of other people, some collaboration projects. But that all those things were just done in the past. I don't know. I think about 17 months, because my first book that I wrote on my own, The Devotional for Women, Finding God in Everyday Life, that one came out, I think it was June or July of 2018. So that was the first book. So then from then into now in November, I have 18 books total. But all of I can't even shit talk. So excited about all of this. So through all of that, I gained so much strength that the books I've been sitting on, the books that I've been hiding on my computer or in my heart or in my mind, are now published. They're out for people to use. Why? Because of the hardship that I went through. Yes, it gave me strength, to do more. It gave me more compassion. It gave me more perseverance. It gave me more faith. Like, seeing how God have been working in my life in the past 2 years, it's like, if I didn't believe then, like, I gotta believe now, right? And thank God I already believe, but it's like my faith grew from all of that. My faith grew. My gratitude grew. Like, I'm more grateful for every little thing. And I even have friends on the say, well, she already said thank you for that. I'm like, I know, I already said thank you, but I cannot help it. But I say thank you again. Because that's just the kind of person I am now. right? And I think, yes, I was compassionate before. That's why people said, good, the work I do, they see me working with others. But I think I'm even more compassionate. I'm more intentional, even how I communicate with others, So all of those things only came because of the health crisis I went through in the past 2 years. So again, how can you be grateful for the hard stuff? Number one, think about the support that you receive for that, the hard stuff, the hardship. Number two, look at the strength that you gain. Okay, now let's look at number three. Number three is assess the lesson that you learned. Lesson learned. Oh my goodness. For all of these things, literally, I'm not even sure where I should begin with lessons that I've learned through either the car breaking down last week, or the health crisis in the past 2 years. But with the health crisis, I've learned that I need to take better care of myself. I learned that I can't just be chasing the dollar. I have to, I have to be fine with little. That even when, because before I did the things that I love to do, but I was driving left and right, going here and there, doing everything, and not giving myself time to rest, giving myself, downtime, not being intentional about self-care. So the lessons that I learned is that my self-care is important, that I need to put myself on my to-do list and be intentional about taking care of myself. And if you've been following me the past 2 years, you've seen how I've been not just doing that, but teaching that and helping others do the same. Do I have days where I'm like, oh, I need to do a little more? Yes, I have days like that. But now I'm even more intentional, mindful even of those moments where I'm still feeling like I'm out of balance. And I need to, get it together, and take care of myself. So many lessons learned with the car. I think, I learned it was funny. So they fix all kind of stuff, and the one thing that my friend went to pick it up said, he said, well, do you know your front tires were like almost busted? I'm like, no, they were not. I drove to church with it. I drove that morning. Well, I honestly, I don't even know what a bust, like, unless like it's ripped totally. I would have never noticed, that there was something wrong with the tire. So actually it was like, you could see the threads and stuff. So now, lesson I learned, like, I need to check my car before I just leave out to go for the day. And and there was something with some kind of belt that broke. I'm like, oh yeah, when I turned it on, it made this real noise. And I just like thought it's gonna be okay. So I drove. I know, don't laugh at me. I know nothing about cars. Right. So for all of that, I learned a lot about just cars, like, more things about car maintenance, but also things that I need to do now to keep my car running well. Um, and through the health crisis, I learned that I know different ways of taking care of myself and why I need to do it, and how I have to be intentional about it. So what is it for you? What are you going through? Sorry, I have to fix. Yeah, since my health crisis, I have lots and lots of sensory issues. So although I like having the headphones for the use of the mic, but after a while they literally start just irritating me. So I'll be wrapping this up here shortly. So what are you going through right now that's a challenge, that's a hardship, that's something that's just hard for you? What's some tough stuff that you're dealing with right now, and how can you be grateful for it? How can you know, how can you be, who supported you through all of this? Can you look at that support that you receive and be grateful for that? What have you gained? What strengths have you gained through this process? Can you think about that for a moment and be grateful for that? And then also, what have you learned? What lessons have you learned through this situation, and how can you be grateful for that? And that's just, to be honest, through all of that, that's what helps me. I became, like my friend said, the definition of perseverance, because I learned to do those three things. I learned to be grateful in the hard things, and not only change my perspective in life, but it makes me happier no matter what's happening. Yes, there's moments I'm sad, like, I'm not like this happy queen, I'm always happy. No, there's moments I'm legitly sad, there's moments I'm disappointed, moment where I'm mad, I'm sad, I'm angry. I feel all the emotions, but I no longer let these emotions um dictate if I'm going to have a good day or a bad day. I can have a rough day and still have to choose to have a good day, because then I focus on the things that I'm grateful for, those, support, strength, and lessons. Right. So I'm going to stop here, because right now my ears are like, ugh. Yeah, I really just like, I need to take this off. So thank you again for being part of what I do in so many ways, and whether you're watching here or, following me on social media, you get my emails, or maybe, you're one of my clients, or you bought one of the books, or attended a workshop that I did, or been in the conference that I was part of. Thank you. Thank you. Because of you, I get to do what I do. So thank you for just being part of my world and being part of all the stuff that I do and supporting me this way. But I hope that what I bring is meaningful to you and supports you as well on your journey to mental and emotional wellness. All right. Talk to you later. Happy Thanksgiving.